Okay, welcome to Idrissa show. Yeah, today I have something very important I want us to talk about. Looking at that, this is our continent, and if we don't talk about our issues and we don't address them, no one will address it for us. Yes. So today I want to talk about more of African youth, because remember, they always say youth are the one they are the generation that's going to take over tomorrow, which I don't believe on that. I can shock you, but I don't believe that youth are the future generation. What I believe is youth are today generation that has to take over, and if youth, they are not introduced now, even tomorrow they won't be able to do anything. Yes. So there are so many things that we need to talk as Africans and anyone all over the world. At some point we make ourselves believing that we are not ready, especially youth. We make ourselves to say, no, we are not ready. We have to let these people, this one lead us, or this one to be in front, or no, I can't do something. Let me tell you one thing. As long as you sit down there, you don't do anything. You sit down, you don't want to join those political parties to stand as an MP or to stand as a president, then don't complain. Then don't complain. Why am I saying don't complain? Because if you want a change, or we want African youth or African generations to get to the better place, we should ask youth to rise and begin to work. We should rise. And to you other youth, you are following me, what's wrong with us supporting our fellow youth? We always have this attitude to say, no, he's so young, he's too young, he doesn't have experience. If you read the history of Africa, many countries in Africa, in this beginning, not even beginning, after, people lead countries, our nations after. They were not old people. They were not old people. Most of those people were in the government in those 19th century. They were 19-year-old, 20-year-old. So, if we see, or you see your fellow youth in your country, in your respective country, standing, or as maybe let's say as a councillor, or as a mayor, or as an MP, or even as a president, why don't you support them? Give them the support. Why don't you support them? You see your fellow youth trying to raise the conscience of people in a certain field. Why don't you support it? Do you know that in Africa, 60% of African populations are youth? 60% percentage of African population are youth. And if the youth of Africa will rise and start working for the better of Africa, it's possible. But we keep on giving ourselves excuses. Those excuses are the one that's blocking us from to reach that point of change or of development as youth. Look at how many youth are dying. Look at how many youth are leaving this continent, going out to go and use their knowledge for the advantage of other nations, other continents. What about our continent? I'm not saying it's bad to leave your continent to go and work outside of the continent, but what I'm saying is, up to when African youth are going to leave Africa? This is not a matter of we need this leader or this one. My previous videos, I say that there is no a better leader all over the world. There is no a better president or a better government. If you read the history of the government, there is no government that's ever changed people or is started the life of people. Only people, when they stand, they recognize that they are the one who has to bring that change. Then the change is possible. We have everything we need for the change of this continent. We have everything, every type of things. We can't even talk about how many natural resources that we have in Africa that can transform Africa. But we keep on blaming ourselves, giving ourselves excuses. African youth, wake up. African youth, rise up. Stop complaining. Stop blaming yourself. Stop fighting. Stop being the one that others are using for them to be at a certain point. When they want certain things, we'll see you for what? When you want in the election period or anything organization in the country, we see youth. But when we look at the parliaments, we don't see youth. Why we don't see youth? We can say no, because they don't want to put youth. No. Because ourselves youth, we don't rise and stand to say I'm going to stand as an MP. And you other youth who refuses to support your fellow youth because you get money or any other thing from this one to this one. The only thing you are destroying is the future generation. So, my fellow youth, what we need to do is to come together. Wherever you are in your country, youth, come together. Begin to work on yourself now. Don't sit there and let someone telling you you are the future. No, you are now. You are now. They keep on telling you you are the future. You are the future. Now you are 40 years old. Now you are 30 years old. Now you are 25. They keep on telling you are the future. The question you should ask yourself, when is that future? When is that future? I want to tell you today, the future is today and it's now. That's when the future starts. People, they keep on telling us, I remember when I was going to school, you will be with an adult, they will tell you, no, school in our period was very great. In our period, we were really studying well. That's not true. The truth of the matter is, in this 21st century, you have computers, you have internet, you have phones. Even the communication has transformed. Even the way of education has changed, has developed. Now you can learn via YouTube, as you are watching me now. Now you can learn on Google. Now you don't need just to be in the class for you to learn something. Many of the things that some of us when we learn, we didn't learn it at the class. Some skills, we didn't learn it at school. Now you are even able maybe to manipulate the computer. Maybe you never studied computer in school, but there are platforms. So if as African youth, we don't get used to those platforms to educate ourselves, to take ourselves in a certain level and sitting closing your hands, you keep on asking questions. Why the government is not doing this? We keep on asking questions, the government must do this. The question we should ask ourselves, what are we doing to change our nation? What are we doing? And in fact, you should know that we don't need politics for us to change. We don't need politics for us to develop. Development has never come through politics. Never. Read history. Go and read books. There is no books that will tell you that development of nations came through politics. I'm sorry, but I'm telling you the truth. There is no nation that has been transformed because of politics. No. Today, Nigeria is number one in terms of economy in Africa. It's not because of politics. It's because the Nigerians people who had time to invest, they've invested and they've gained more money. That makes them to be number one. So if we want all of us to running behind politics or killing ourselves or fighting each other instead of us working for our continent, instead of you passing criticizing the continent, it's better you start working on your field so that to transform this continent. If you stand up, I stand up on my field, you stand up in your field, you start working, believe it or not, in the next 10 years, Africa will change. If you stand and start spreading that good news about Africa, in the next 10 years, the history about Africa, it will be a change in history. It won't be the history of past. They won't be talking about past things, because we will show the world what we is and what our plan for the future. So please, youth, stand up where you are. Time of complaining, it's over. Time of looking for others to do something for you, it's over. No one can do anything for you. It's about you. This continent needs you. For this continent to change, we need you. We need you. Stop taking yourself left and right. Focus. Focus. Begin to work for the change of your life first and the change of this continent. The change of this continent, because we need that change. The question I was asking myself, is Africa that's killing its youth, or is African youth that are killing the Africa? At the same time, you'll find that we, the youth, we stand in the positions of saying, no, what's the news today? What's what did this one did? What did this president did? This is happening bad. At the same time, we are saying, okay, things are not okay. Things are not okay. The same country, the same avenue, the same area, the same continent, things are changing. People are changing. People are advancing. And some people are still standing and complaining. You stand and complaining, you stand and saying there's no this, there's no that, there's no this, there's no that. Who's going to put that food on your table? No one. No one. Nobody is going to put that food on your table. Rise up. Go and look for that food to put on your table. No one's going to do it for you. No, you see what the president said. You see what the minister said. Ministers, president will never change anyone's life. Will never change your life. What will change your life is your courage. If you want to do politics, stand and begin to do politics. If you want to do business, stand, begin to look for that business. If you want to do any other thing, stand. No one is stopping you to do what you want to do, Africa. No one is stopping you. The one is stopping you, it's yourself. You refuse to do what you want to do in your heart. But you want to do what you even doesn't want to do. But that's what you want to do. And at the end of the day, we'll see when you see your other friend succeeding, you start to look for reason of you not succeeding. You start looking for reason. Why not this? Why this? As our life. This is not happening in Africa. It's because of African leader. No, that's not true. It's not true. If as youth we put ourselves together, Africa will change. If Africans we come together as Africa, in each country, all of you come together for change, things will change. The question I'll ask you today, how did people, Africans, manage to come out of colonization? Have you ever think of that? How did Africans manage to be out of colonizations? When white, they were powerful. They were dominating them, giving them whatever they want. But how did Africans manage to get out of? Because they came together and decided to fight until they are free. And indeed today, me and you, we celebrate our independence. But that independence never came from one man or one woman. Independence of Africa came from the togetherness, came from all the members. Everyone was living in that period. Even though we give the praise to one or two people or five people, because they were the leader leading the movement. But it was the entire nation. It was nations' movement. Where some people died on that movement. Some people, thank God they survived, but it wasn't one man show. It was the entire country to rise and fight. So, if in that period they stood and fight and they were free, you tell me today we can't set ourselves free? No. It's up to you and me to rise up. It's up to you and me to rise up. So youth and everyone Africans, today I just want you to think of so many things where we want our continent to be. And if we want our continent to be respected, the first one who has to respect this continent, it's you and I. How are we going to respect it? How are we going to give it honor? It's by us working toward its transformation. And when I say transformation, I mean total transformation. And that transformation comes only when our mindset are no longer mindset of looking up down on ourselves. Looking at down, no, Africans, we can't do this. And you keep on saying that, Africa, oh, this Africa, Africans, we can't do this, Africans. No, Africa can do it. And Africa is doing it. So, remember that there's nothing you cannot do. And when you stand in oneness, we can do more than our fathers did in the period of civilization. We can do better and we can do more. The future is now and it starts now. And the future is in your hand. So it's up to you, Africans, to decide which way you want to go. It's up to you to decide. So, I always say, no one can tell our stories better than ourselves. Indeed, no one can tell our stories better than ourselves. For today, I'm done there. See you tomorrow. I'm Idrissa.